Köszönöm szépen.
Thank you very much, and I would like to welcome everybody at this large-scale conference today. Thank you very much, Dr. Gabriela Liszkai, that I can be here today with you and I can share my thoughts. I have come with a modest but very important topic. As you can see projected out, my topic is the role of civil societies in melanoma prevention. My name is Szabina Nagy, and I've come from the town of
Amit először nagyon fontos megbeszélnünk, hogy mik azok, vagy kik azok a civil szervezetek, hiszen nap mint nap számtalanszor találkozunk ezzel a kifejezéssel, hogy a civilek, a civil szervezetek, de vajon tudjuk el, hogy mit is rejt a mögöttes tartalom? Hát Magyarország alaptörvénye szerint mindenkinek joga van szervezeteket létrehozni és
the Hungarian cardinal law, everybody has got the right to establish societies and to join societies. But what companies are we, or what organizations are we talking about, and how to join them? Well, in Hungary there is an act in Hungary which is on the right of association. It is Act 175 of 2011. We just call it the Civil Act, and that is the act which regulates the type of organizations that can be members. We can have three types of civil organizations. There are the civil associations. They are organizations which do not have legal entities, and they do not require official registrations. They do not have the right to apply for funds. They cannot receive 1% of the tax, but this is a good organization if we would like to initiate some community action. And there are the other two areas, and we can hear a lot more about them. One part is the associations. Here there are two forms. Based on that form, we can have the associations. Their memberships do not include natural persons, just associations, foundations. They come together, and when such associations are established, then they can be established in many different areas of life, sports, culture, civil defense, and all sorts of other areas. And then there are the foundations. They may be foundations for community goals, and when they are established in order to achieve some private goals. If you want to tell you some figures, and this is based on the Central Statistical Office data, there was a survey in 2023, and according to this, there are today in Hungary 53,647 registered civil organizations. More than 18,000 of those are foundations, and more than 35,000 as associations in our country. So, if you look at the different areas on the top right corner, you can see that we can have civil organizations in different arrays of life, but the current topic is melanoma prevention, and therefore it is very important for me to highlight two areas, and one is healthcare and the other is the social area, because we know that prevention and these two areas go hand in hand, and we cannot actually separate the two. And that's why I've got this diagram where you can see that there are 486 who are working in healthcare, and 1,664 are working in the social sphere. So I just would like to illustrate with this that this is a wide range of different associations and foundations to work together with. What I also would like to show you here is that what is the number of civil organizations by county. So Budapest is at the top of the list, then comes Pest County, Borsod-Abaúj County, and then Szabolcs-Szatmár County. So here we have got most most civil organizations registered. That's where we have got most of the associations and foundations. So my town, Nyíregyháza, is in Szabolcs-Szatmár County, so I'm very proud of the fact that we've got very well-functioning civil organizations there. The next slide, once we know where we have civil societies and we know their distribution in Hungary, now let's take a look at the importance of civil societies. Why they are important? First of all, because they are present in all walks of life, as we could see before. They are indispensable in the operation of the society. It is important that they can take responsibility and bear our responsibility, and their goal is to reinforce social cohesion and enrich communities. They help the pursuit of independence, they develop virtues and empower, and they are indispensable in care policy, and they supplement certain services. So what I usually say that they are actually a bridge between the members of the society and the institutions and the top management. So this bridge should be very sturdy, very stable. Why is it important to have civil societies? It is because in the high domestic cancer mortality, we can mention the lack of screening and early detection, and civil organizations can change that because they are the organization building up from the roots, and they can convey the communication and information to all members of the society and the knowledge, as a result of which they can contribute to advancing the goals of the Hungarian National Cancer Program for 2030 to reduce mortality by 10%. How can civil societies contribute to the flow of information? There are the dangers of melanoma and the options of prevention, and this should be communicated to all members of the society. And to convey this knowledge, civil societies can give a great help in the area of healthcare and social care, and we have already mentioned that we have got a broad range of these societies, so there's a lot of those to work together with. And it is also extremely important that if we want to convey information, personal presence is very important. That is that these organizations are present everywhere, from the smallest villages to the counties. And you shouldn't forget about the options given by the online space, because this is the best way to reach out to young people. You can show videos for them, for instance. And my organization is called a Society for Young People, the Elderly and Families. So we have already introduced events and provided a lot of help to people. Let's take a look at 3 areas in primary prevention and something which can be successfully applied to prevent melanoma. When a civil society meets the business world. And we had a program, the pharmacies from a child's perspective, and our target group was the small kindergarten children, and they could look behind the scenes of pharmacies, and they could come closer to the world of healthcare in a playful way. So we had some physical exercises, they could recite some poems, they could use our different tools that are used in medicine, they could prepare different lotions and they could take it back for the home, and they cast a spell at clean water and it became black, and in this way they could cure wounds. So we have similar programs, prevention programs also for kindergarten children, for primary school children, secondary school children in the topics of a healthy lifestyle. So we can raise awareness about healthy lifestyle, for instance, with these programs. And it is a good opportunity to give all the information for young people because it is also very important to raise awareness about the necessary skin protection to prevent later problems. And if we carry on, we can see what happens if a civil organization is able to make good use of grant funding. Here with these pictures, I wanted to say
at this event, what we organized, the government was quite supportive, and they offered us a lot of tenders, and the civilians can get a lot of tenders when we can realize events continuously. We are always scanning the opportunities, and as a result we could organize thematic walking days, and we did Nordic walking days. At the beginning we had screenings, vitamin level measurement, dietetic advice, and other screenings with which we could give information for the participants. We also have other projects where they could get to know life stories. In the case of melanoma, these programs could be used very well because through life stories people get knowledge based on which on the level of primary prevention we can achieve significant results. It is very important that civil organizations can get to hundreds of people. If we are there in events in bigger cities or in smaller villages, we've got events everywhere, and the target group is everyone, because everyone comes to these events. These civil societies are capable of being present among people continuously. They can organize monthly health days, or they can also organize events on Mother's Day or Children's Day. Not to mention that in each and every municipality there are also big events where the municipality is happy to have civil organizations, because they can add to the value of these events. They can make it even more colorful, and we need to use these opportunities, because this way we can reach every age group, and we can draw attention to the importance of dealing with ourselves, of paying attention to ourselves. Education, age-appropriate education is absolutely necessary for society, and it is extremely important to look at whom you would like to educate, children, young people, or older generation. As you could see in earlier slides, the frequency of education can be changing. You can have one educational event, or you can even organize a program series, and the best is to combine the two. Once the person gets this ad hoc piece of information at an event, and later they can go into depth about the topic in the framework of a program series. And this is how prevention can become effective. In order to get to as many people as possible and to reach the targets by 2030, we need to have a network where important parameters are hammered out, and other civil organizations are involved in realization. It is worth doing a pilot study and evaluating small-scale data and extending the program to bigger levels. For this, we need to get to know good practices even in international level, and to have feasibility studies. And also, we need to allocate the right funds for these purposes, so that you can work from something, and this way you can build up a professional base where civil organizations do have a place by close cooperation, effective communication, communication with the ministries, with the healthcare institutions and municipalities. We can establish a goal-oriented work by result of which we are able to reach the goals for 2030. All in all, civil societies who are active, for example, in healthcare or elsewhere, can organize events, program series for each and every member of society, as a result of which we can decrease the incidence of melanoma, which has been, by the way, increasing recently. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Köszönöm szépen.